Thalia, hi, how you doing? Thanks so much for including your work here. Let's go and take a look at your first iteration. And let me see. Okay, so we've got, all right. So this is a really wonderful start. Really nice job. Now, I don't know if you've taken a look at some of the other videos from posts that were submitted prior to yours, but I kind of go through these general rules, and I'll do the same thing for you. But basically, the first thing I talk about in each one of these videos is craft. And I think your craft is outstanding. I really do. There's a couple of areas that we want to look at. Now, that's the document with the letters, right? So let's take a look at this um, vertical stem of the lowercase n right here. And we can kind of see that this is more vertical there. This is kind of curves. It's kind of on a diagonal right here. So it's not a true vertical. And that's really the only area I see that really, really needs improvement is that n right there. This n seems to be much, much more appropriate. But these stems, these left side, these vertical stems right here, those should probably reach up to the cap height, as we can see if we take that right there. There's a little bit of overshoot. So the end, the curved part of the end reaches over the x height a little bit, but that portion of the end should reach that cap height right there. So basically, you just really want to pay attention to your x line, your x height, mean line, and cap. I'm sorry, baselines, mean lines, and cap lines, and really establish your vertical scale based on those guides. Okay, now the letter forms themselves, as I said, I think are really done very well. So good job there. Really want to pay attention to these variable width strokes right here. As you can see right there, that's much thinner there than it is through here. So you want to represent that and make that obvious. And then also you want to, right here, there's another variable width stroke right there. See how much thinner that is than that? So you want to represent that in your ends. A good way to determine accuracy in your sketching is to take a look at the counter space. This area here, this area here, this area here, 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 and here, and compare them to the original and make sure the shapes are identical. Now, as far as letter spacing goes, this is good. This is what we would consider normal letter spacing, meaning that you've kind of established equal spacing between all letter forms. And I think that's the intuitive way to start. But what happens is that letter forms aren't regular shapes. They're different shapes. Some have diagonals, some have curves, some are straight. So we don't have any diagonals in this word. So I want you to follow this general rule. Okay, the narrowest space between letters should be between two curved letter forms. Okay, here's a curve here and here's a curve here. That's the only combination of letters that have curved letter forms. So that should be the most narrow, followed by the next most narrow should be between a straight and a curved, okay? And then the widest space should be between two straights. And the reason for that is because you want there to be equal volume between the letter forms of each combination, right? So these two curved, you've got all this counter space right here. There's much more open space between these two letters than these two. So you definitely want to reduce the space there. The idea is to make it appear as though the volume between all of the letters is equal. Okay, so equal spacing is not going to accomplish that task because of the differentiation in the shapes of the letter forms. Therefore, we have to adjust the spacing to make it look like the space between letters is, or the volume between the letters is equal in all cases. So again, that general rule is the most narrow space between two curved letter forms, followed by the next most narrow space, which is between a straight and a curved, and then the next, which is between two straights. And those are the only combinations we have in this word, so that we can, you can start with the B and the A, and then work from there. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so one other final comment is I think we're lacking contrast here. So I'm guessing that you didn't use a very hard lead here. So I'm sorry, I'm guessing you used a harder lead here, or it just didn't press very hard. It's kind of hard to tell. It doesn't look like it's a hard lead because there's not any individual marks. So it almost looks like a soft lead, but it looks like you just really don't have the kind of contrast that we need. So my recommendation is just to start your contour lines with a harder lead, and then go in and fill in the color with a softer lead. And you can press a little bit harder with a softer lead to get more contrast. Okay. All right. Great job, though. I mean, it's a fantastic start. If you have any questions at all, Thalia, let me know. All right. Thank you very much.